Okay, I don't know what to think about this. Hey buds, it's Cheshire Wolf, and today we are playing Vergilius, or Vergilius. I'm not actually sure which one. This is a new game by Akuma, my favorite, hands down favorite video game developer out there. Played most of Kira's other games. There's still a couple that I really need to get back and play, but if you want to check out the ones that I have played, there will be a link down in the description. Most notable to me is Lost in Vivo, which is one of my favorite games of all time. This is some sort of short, weird, experimental horror game like Kira likes to do. So, let's get into it. Oh, ho, 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 ho. My name is Vergilius Morrow, and I am damned. Okay, what a little opening. I awake from death to a strange landscape. Interesting. So this is like hell, right? It's kind of a little bleak depiction of hell. I kind of like it. Ooh. Is that a worm? Oh, this landscape, like at first it looks like just a desert, but there's stuff here. Let me follow the worm trail. I guess there's worms everywhere. Sparse trees dot the terrain, but no signs of humanity greet my vision. Total isolation would be a very interesting look at hell. Kind of like a, what's it called in prisons when they put people by themselves? Solitary confinement, but on a massive scale. I don't know if that's what this is doing, but still interesting to think about. Also, the visuals are really cool. I love the sky, and just the landscape itself is quite cool. Just the way it seems to go on forever. Searching about myself, I find I have no anatomy. Okay, so that's an interesting way of using the constraints of the game for storytelling. Despite my lack of form, I walk regardless. Because in games, a lot of times, they don't actually give the player a model, just like a point in the air to move. So they don't need that. In hopeless desperation, I search for progress or an end. Okay. Kira's games are often psychologically scary. I find no solace or destination ahead of me. They're not always scary and they're like, oh, there's some weird, horrible monster coming to get you. But they're often scary in a weird, bleak, unsettling, existential way. And even when Kira does use monsters, suddenly I notice something on the horizon. Do I? What am I noticing? A strange form of clouds or trees awaits in the distance. Is it like that two-pronged tree or what? I'm not really seeing that much of anything. But yeah, when it sways unnaturally as if beckoning me to come nearer. Where are you seeing this? I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Oh. This? I think so. I think it's this. Yeah, okay. I'll go this way. But yeah, when they use monsters, it's more bizarre, unearthly monsters that you don't really know what they're gonna do, right? Which I think is a lot scarier. As I approach the clouded forest, it remains at the reaches of my vision. Also, the tree thing reminds me of Biagatoth, and if you haven't seen any of Kira's other games, they tend to exist in some kind of shared universe thing. Just then just as it appeared, it dissipated, and I find myself alone in a rotten sea of non-existence. I guess I'll keep going in this direction, nonetheless, but God, if I look up, I don't appear to be moving, which I think I am, but that's very strange how the sky just remains totally still. I desperately try to think of my past life, hoping to anchor myself via memories. Oh, that is cool. That is a really cool depiction of, like, memories and how they fade over time. And the idea that when you die, your memories would fade even more. As hard as I try, I cannot remember anything other than my name, Vergilius Morrow, which is a sick fucking name. My god, dude, that's awesome. But yeah, what was I talking about? Is this true death? I mean, I can think of a lot better things, but I can think of a lot worse things too. A punishment for my actions in life. Like to be isolated and yet aware, wandering aimlessly in some unfinished barren landscape. Isolated yet aware would inherently be a very terrible situation, but probably better than just like being tortured, right? I would think. Also, as usual, Kira's amazing with the soundtrack too. Lost in trembling thought, I awake to realize another landmark has appeared. Ooh, okay, cool. I like how it just grows up. Appears as dual towers with a hollow space between. Okay, cool. Fear and anguish settling in, I quicken my pace. I need to reach the towers before they leave my sight. Alright, I'm gonna go as quickly as possible here. They look kind of like sediment, like the sides of a canyon when it's rock that's pressed and layered together. That's what they look like. God, all of Kira's games are just such a freaking vibe, you know? Like, it's just like, it feels good to play them. I think what Kira's most famous for is Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, but they've done a lot of other really cool stuff. Like, their little projects are just as good as their super big projects. And there is actually a bigger game that I have not played that I really need to. It's like some sort of dungeon crawling game. I'm gonna get around to that soon. Well, I'm actually approaching, like, right up to them now. That's cool. Oh, what? I don't know what happened there. Okay, weird. Oh. Finally finding progress, I enter the hollow between the structures. Okay. It's like a sword in the stone type deal. At the center of the hollow lay a simple rusted sword. That's sick as hell. That is sick as hell. Despite the heavy rust coating the blade, I can make out an old inscription upon it. Yeah. Okay. I like swords. I have several. Iterum carpe vitam. Seize life again. Do I get the choice of coming back to life? Thought at first to take up the sword, but find that I have no ability. So I can't pull it out of the ground. Without form, I cannot extend outward and influence this world, so without hands, you can't grasp a sword. Okay. Makes sense. After thinking about it for some time, I realized what I must do. Well, do tell. I lay down beside the sword, placing where my neck should be against its rusted blade. Oh. I like the mushrooms. I could feel its jagged and sharp metal upon me, and it felt strangely warm. Okay. With one forceful push, I dove against the steel, severing myself. Severing my life. Discarding the last of me. Oh, that is cool. Perhaps I will wake again in another life. Oh, man! Okay, Jaren Chris does the music. Thank you, Jaren Chris, for, like, that amazing soundtrack. So good. That was really cool. The Monument to Dante at Trento, Italy. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know what the Monument to Dante is or says, but yeah, that was really cool. Just the sheer surreal vibes and then the actual kind of meaning to it. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. That's interesting. Kira's games are really art. They're very weird, surreal art pieces, and I love experiencing them. I will never get tired of Kira's game, and I am planning on going back and playing a couple other Kira's games that I've missed so far, so thank you for watching. Oh, I'll probably check to make sure there's no other weird secrets in this game. But I've been looking at it for a while and it's getting bigger, and I thought it was just like a blip, but no, that is actually something. Kira, you sly dog, always putting in weird fucking stuff in your games that you don't see in the first time around. Okay, I'll bite. What is this? The dialogue is referencing the towers, not this. What the fuck is this? I'm not quickening my pace. What the fuck is this orb? That's definitely something, right?
Those who are trying to prepare themselves for into the evolutionary level of our human synonymous with the kingdom of God.
Okay, I don't know what to think about this. I don't know if there's other hidden things. I bet there are. I bet there are. Because there always is. I'm just gonna go away from the tower and that thing. See if I can't encounter anything else. Okay, I've been walking for a long time, and I'm not seeing anything else, so I'm gonna call it here. Until next time, check out some of Kira's other games, because they are just, like, really, really good. See you then. Shame.